I guess when you're used to riding, and so the other thing too is like when you're used to riding a certain way, you just get used to riding that way. And then so when you make an adjustment, hello there. I just like this riding posture. I just tend to gravitate towards this riding posture a lot more. Yeah, after a while you do. I mean, those guys on the track that are doing like 20 laps on those bikes, I mean, they're worn out by the time they're done with 20 laps. You ride a whole day on a sport bike, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, you're still going to feel it. Irrespective of how decent a shape you're in. That's just common sense, really. You know, sport bike is, I'd say a tad bit more maintenance than just a regular Street Fighter. Well, I mean a bike that's been built, tailor-built as a Street Fighter as opposed to a sport bike that's been turned into one. The clip-ons, the rear sets are probably a little bit higher on that bike. About the same, but just maybe a tad bit higher than my bike. So I wasn't like, you know, oh, I can't wait to get off of this bike. It wasn't quite like that. It just, under a different set of circumstances, I probably would have liked to have spent a little bit more time with the bike. It felt like about, I mean, in terms of, it had a similar sort of ergonomic feel to the F3, because both being sport bikes, but I would say similar riding position, similar seating position. Great brakes though. Oh man, those brakes were great. Really good brakes. I guess that's why I'm going to come back to the idea that this is essentially a Daytona. It is a Daytona. I mean, there's really no two ways around the fact that the only exception being clip-ons versus risers, and the gearing and fueling is different. And that's really the only, well, the other two is the internals of the motor are higher spec in the Daytona than in this. I mean, I love this bike.
Now, if you'd like to waste more time, you can follow me on Snapchat at Zone Television. And further still, you could even follow me on Instagram at Zone Television. Feel free to check out my website, zonetelevision.com. This has been a Zone Television and a Zone Television media production. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.